He's packing a chainsaw.
I might skin your ass tonight. We were just watching a live Limp Bizkit video for Break Stuff. Welcome back in, Cult Lords fans. Here to do another movie review for you. Mm-hmm. And
we finally got to it.
I was going to say, yes. This movie's been out for about 2 months, but Dane and I went and saw it tonight. Just so we could see it. And we had
one of our fans begged us to go see it.
That's right. So we were like, all right, let's go take a look at Captain America, Brave New World. This is setting up the new Avengers, supposedly, right? So
yeah.
Supposedly.
Lots of references here we got in the background to this movie.
Yeah.
In some form or another.
Yes. So if you're new to our channel, hey, thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate you watching us, and what we would love for you to do is to subscribe. We put out lots of videos, during the week, during the month.
Please subscribe.
Trailer reactions, movie reviews, interesting other little tidbits, music stuff.
Led Zeppelin documentary.
Yeah, get on board. Join the Cult Lords. And after you hit like, tell us down in the comments if you like this movie, Captain America, Brave New World. I heard lots of bad things about it before I went to go see it. I had to go see it for myself. Is it that bad? We'll tell you in a minute. But if you're new to our channel, one thing we also like to do is have a drink or a beverage while we do these reviews. And Dane, what are we drinking?
Well, this is a new one. I haven't had this one. Resilient, bottled in bond, straight bourbon whiskey.
Where is it out of?
It is out of Stanford, Kentucky.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Distilled in Indiana, bottled in Kentucky.
That way they can say bourbon.
Proof. Yeah, that
I
way
think
they
it
can
has
say it.
to be out of Kentucky to say bourbon, right? Mm-hmm. All right. That's why Jack
Straight.
says Tennessee whiskey. Right?
Yes.
Or
it's got some burn.
Oh, does it?
Even with ice.
Oh, wow. That is... Okay, what were we drinking before this?
We were drinking the Wolf.
That was much smoother than this.
The pecan whiskey.
Oh, my gosh.
Winston Wolf.
Yeah.
William Wolf. Pecan whiskey.
All right. Well, tell us down in the comments what you're drinking right now. What beverage do you enjoy to watch your Cult Lords video movie reviews? So, if you haven't seen this movie yet and you don't want it spoiled for you, we got a warning. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert. We're going to go into heavy spoilers as we talk about this movie. So if you don't want that ruined, hit pause, go watch the movie, come back, see if you felt the same way we feel. So now before we get to our scores, we always like to see what the general population thinks. And we review the Rotten Tomatoes scores. Mm-hmm. So, Dane, what do you think the critics have given Captain America?
Now, again, I have not tainted my vision with any of these scores, but just based on what I've heard, I'm going to say the critics probably did like a 45.
45. And then what do you think all the...
Fans? 65.
Fans. The Marvel fans. 65? 45 and 65?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the critics did give it a 48%.
Ooh.
But the fans gave it a 79%.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That was more in the ballpark.
Yeah.
I should have said 69.
69.
I was thinking it.
Yes. The fans definitely felt something for this and gave it a 69. No, it's a 79. But you know what? I think Marvel and Disney have been waiting for months for us to see this, just to find out what the Cult Lords ratings are.
I know, man.
Yes.
They don't need us to see Snow White, I would assume. We should see Snow White just to like put a rating out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
I would just to see it, because I mean, it is.
I might bring a poisoned apple for me during the movie.
Next time you get the Blu-ray for it, we'll watch it.
All right.
You know, because we're talking industry-moving scores here.
All right. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hooah!
Expected a higher flight, 8.1.
Take the serum, please, 7.6. We're kind of in the ballpark of each other.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Hooah!
I mean, it wasn't as bad. as
Yeah, I
like
was
the
expecting-
40s or 50s, but
Yeah.
you know,
I just figured the critics were going to eviscerate it
Yeah.
because Marvel has not had the best reputation. I mean, look, we said Endgame was pretty much the last movie that was of note, I think, right? What was the movie we did like 6 months ago? I forget already. You even said, I think this is the best. This is the best movie since Endgame. You know,
Yeah.
I think this movie suffered just because there was way too many little coach captain talking to people in this movie. Like, oh yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Keep your chin up.
yeah.
So, you know, the grass is greener on the other side. It was like every platitude that they could whip out for him to talk to people about. Like, don't worry.
And you know what? I know it is very common comic book lore that Falcon does become Captain America. In fact, like if you look at like the run of Captain America, I mean, it was just him for a long time, and then like during the 70s, it was Captain and Falcon. You know, they were like fighting together.
They realized
you know
he needed like a window character.
Yeah, and then Falcon does become Captain America.
Yeah, well, that makes.
But
what happens to Steve Rogers in the comic?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I'm not even sure myself because I didn't watch. You know, like
Right.
what's the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? What was the one that they put out on?
I watched it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was decent. Yeah. In fact, you need to watch that. Watch that because there's a big story arc with a guy named John Walker, who takes over as Captain America he is in the Thunderbolts, and so his storyline is going to be interested. In the upcoming Marvel movie Thunderbolts, they have John Walker, who was Captain America, and so you need to see that backstory to
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and I think that guy was in The Walking Dead too. That actor, he was in. I know who you were talking about. The face.
Yeah,
he was in some part of The Walking Dead, and I don't remember which part, but
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, so yeah, I mean they had some big name actors in here. I mean Harrison Ford,
right.
What's his name?
Playing president again.
Yeah, the Esposito.
Oh, Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, he's here in the Mando. In case you're wondering what these different posts or references
he's Darth. What is he?
Yes,
Grand Moff Gideon.
Grand Moff Gideon.
So yeah,
and the irony is his scenes were pretty much the best ones in the movie because it was all like pure action and very little talking and bantering. Where they felt like they had to have all these. Once again, the bad guy's going to explain something, or
yeah.
I mean, those.
So my issue watching this, and this is why I say take the serum, please, is because he's just a normal guy. He's just like a Tony Stark, a Bruce Wayne, in a suit. Mm-hmm. And when he doesn't have that suit, he has no special powers, and he's not a genius like Tony Stark or a great detective like Bruce Wayne. He's just a normal dude.
With a lot of heart.
Right. But so you missed it because you went to go refill your Coke or your popcorn. But as you were walking out, he gets into a fight with Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh no, I stopped and I watched it from the side.
Oh. So Giancarlo puts a knife and then an axe into his stomach. And like that, that didn't do anything to him.
It's a trap. Stand by for proof of death.
I know, and I was about to say,
dude.
there seemed like he had some great fighting ability for a guy who has no power whatsoever.
That's why, like, when you watch Captain America and you watch Steve Rogers, and yes, like, if he gets stabbed, it hurts him too, but he has super healing capabilities.
Yeah.
He has superhuman strength, speed, jumping, abilities. So watching him fight and take on 15, 20 guys, it just seems more natural and believable.
Yeah.
So than a real guy to take a knife and a hatchet to the stomach.
And you caught the little wink?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, what'd you have that adamant, what did he say? You had some kind of armor underneath your shirt or whatever?
Yeah.
And it's like, but that was sticking in you.
Yes.
I mean, so how was that armor supposed to stop it from entering body? So how did...
I just have a hard time watching him in these fight scenes and in perilous situations knowing, hey man, he's just a normal dude.
Not that hard. I heard your rib go. You need a minute?
No,
No, let's get this over with.
Wakanda, I guess, gave him an upgraded suit, and so it's got
he had
lots of cool things.
The vibranium wings. Or
The vibranium
shields
wings that could shield him.
Me, come and get me.
He had the cool arm display that his little drone would go out. Red Wing?
Oh, and those drones were super smart.
Yeah.
Hey, go get me a sandwich, Red Wing. It was like literally every time he I would be like, well, why didn't you send Red Wing out first? Help out first, and then jump in. It was always like when he was almost stuck or.
Red Wing, I'm going to sit here on the couch, but I need you to take these 3 guys out for me.
Hold on. I'm getting a call. Would you guys take these guys out? That thing was like the soup. I mean, I guess, isn't that like it was part of the Tony Stark's, the same computer system that he uses?
Oh, Jarvis?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was part of that.
I don't know.
Something about that referenced in one of the other, but I might be mixing that up.
Maybe.
But it just seemed like every time he got stuck, he'd just say, Red Wing, throw out something at him. It's like, why didn't you do that first?
There was like a lot of, just to me, like some unbelievable stuff. And then he's got his Padawan with him, right? The new Falcon, right? Trying to be the Falcon. Once again, just a normal dude wearing his old suit.
Tell me I don't make your old gear look brand new.
Who's saying that?
Everybody.
Wanting to be like Falcon and stuff. And I'm like, this is where these people get killed. You know what I mean?
Well, and I thought for sure they were going to go that way, but they decided not to kill him.
I know.
I was like, that's still kind of like probably what the movie needed was some death.
Right.
Because they, the bad guys, the whole thing with some way to manipulate people's minds that you play some old song and suddenly they're killers for, 5 minutes.
Whatever this is, Cap, be careful.
That didn't go very well.
Right.
And I didn't really, some of that, there was like the backstory there between, what was the bad guy's name? I know, I can't remember his name. Oh, it was Stern, something like that? It was, he didn't.
It was Samuel Stearns.
Yeah, Samuel Stern. And,
Tim Blake Nelson. Every time I see him, all I can think of is, oh, brother, where art thou? You know what I mean?
Right.
That was iconic for him. So
here you get this super smart guy, and he seems like he wants to, destroy the Harrison Thaddeus Ross character, but it's like, seemed like a very convoluted, almost like a villain for Batman.
Right.
Like, I've come up with the most complicated way ever of destroying you, and somehow.
Yes, Batman. And the thing is this, I mean, like, Batman, you'll say, oh, well, he's a human too, but he's not fighting, he's not going to fight Doctor Strange, or, you know what I mean, or like the Hulk. Well, I guess you could call Bane a little bit of a Hulk, but he's not the Hulk. I'm just saying, in Marvel, this Cap is living in a world of like super mutants, supernatural characters like Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, you know what I mean? And then like out of the world people like Thanos and all this stuff coming there.
Right.
Batman's fighting Joker, Riddler, Penguin, you know what I mean? Catwoman.
Meow.
Yeah, it's all characters grounded in reality.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I had a little bit of a problem with watching the action. And of course, Shira Haas, who plays
one of the Black Widow.
Well, yeah, she was a former widow, right? Mm-hmm. It's played by Ruth Bat-Seraph. Or no, that's her name. Ruth Bat-Seraph, played by Shira Haas. They had to have a moment too where she got down and like there was like a hallway of people to kick butt, and Captain America, Anthony Mackie's kicking butt down there, so she had to take on like 10 guys.
I know, and
her Black Widow self.
And I'm like, I always thought Scarlett Johansson played a really good, like, realistic Black Widow because she seemed, quasi built. Right. I don't know what they were thinking to go and get like the smallest, petitest woman you could find, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you don't have a lot of mass.
She doesn't have
that punch.
She doesn't have like what Scarlett Johansson have, and then Florence Pugh, also a Black Widow, she looks like, you know, a little bit more buff, you know what I mean?
Right.
Than this girl. She looked like a hobbit.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
I mean, and maybe that's the problem is that they
Right.
ran into an issue with Anthony is taller and she's shorter, and so anytime they were in a scene together, it was like, is that your younger sister you're tagging along?
Yeah.
And I didn't even know she was a Black Widow until that scene. I mean, I thought she was just part of the Secret Service.
Yeah. And then so, you know, the whole premise of the movie is, as you said, Samuel Stearns is trying to get back at Thaddeus Ross because of his old ways when he was a general before he was a president.
That was played by William Hurt, right?
Yeah, so I was going to say that. So, you know, they bring him up. That was played by William Hurt because his daughter was Liv Tyler, and Liv Tyler's Hulk, I think, was
Betty.
Eric Bana. Was Eric Bana. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wasn't this new Mark Ruffalo.
No.
So,
And
but it's weird that they're like mixing
Edward
it.
Norton in there too.
Yeah, but he didn't date anybody in his one appearance as the Hulk, right? And they retconned him out, put in Eric Bana, and then so Liv Tyler and William Hurt, you know, were in that movie.
Yeah.
So then now they're, you know, they didn't recast, you know, Liv Tyler, they bring her on board and they recast William Hurt, you know,
Well,
so
he's dead.
Yeah,
so
well, yeah.
Unfortunately.
We
But I
gotta-
thought, so the irony here is after William Hurt has been trying to do all this, like, you know, suppress the mutants and and these, you know, superhero characters, he ends up turning into the Red Hulk.
Since when were they red?
Come and get me!
yeah.
Which I don't know enough about the comic. Is that I know there is a Red Hulk, but is that how it happens?
I don't know because I mean I know about a series called Planet Red Hulk, where like Hulk goes to this planet and you know Red Hulk is from this planet. It's called Planet Red Hulk.
Oh, okay.
But I don't. I mean that could have been
I mean,
just
there's
you know a series story.
Gray Hulk for
Yeah.
a while there. He went gray.
Well, he started off great.
Gray, well, went back to being gray when
Yeah.
McFarlane was doing it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know enough about the Hulk lore of Red Hulk to know about that. So, but you know Samuel Stern's blood was tainted with the gamma
right.
stuff. So was
super smart.
President Ross. That's why he was taking his pills to control the rage.
Well, I wasn't sure if the pills were to control the rage or the pills were supposedly keeping his heart, because remember he said, I was dying, and I thought the pills were actually stopping his heart from dying. But so indirectly, the smart-ass guy said, I'll give you this, I'll save you, but you will indirectly turn into the Red Hulk. So I kind of got my revenge on you by turning you into one of your hated creatures.
It was like on first watch, it was kind of a little bit of a cloudy plot line, like the whole thing, I thought. You know what I mean? And like, you know, I feel like I got most of that, but I think I'd have to watch it a second time and pay a little bit more attention.
Well, it was almost like, who was the bad guy?
Right.
I mean, you had Captain America was obviously the good guy, and he was off trying to save the president, but at the same time, he was arguing with the president all the time.
Right.
And then he ends up, you know, they finally figure out who the bad guy, was manipulating.
So is he the bad guy? Is Sidewinder, who is Giancarlo Esposito, is he the bad guy?
And he just turns out to be kind of an assassin.
He's like a middleman kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
He was paid to meet the handler or whatever, the
turns
delivery
out to
guy.
be Samuel
Stearns, right?
Yeah, I mean, so I agree with you. There was a lot of like, well, okay, what direction are we going in with this? It was a lot of like, it's up to you who you think the bad guy, because ultimately nobody's the bad guy.
I don't know if you heard this, but there was a moment where they said, we're going to the Pacific. There's a bunch of Japanese warships, you know, like approaching the sun.
Something.
I go, warships? Japan? But although I hear that they are now, because, you know, Japan, since World War II, has been pacifist. And they didn't have a standing army.
They've allowed to have their defense. Yeah.
They are now building the army again.
Oh.
So, but yeah. But I thought it was interesting how Japan played a major role in this movie.
Yeah.
The Japanese prime minister.
And well, and that
You're stealing our adamantium?
adamantium.
Yes.
Well, and that was a big, I thought, interesting, but they didn't explain it. I mean, I had to go look up what the heck that statue was in the Indian Sea, and it's in one of the Eternals.
Okay.
Tiamat, I think. It's the guy that they stopped from taking over the Earth. Oh. So his body is the adamantium.
Is the island? Oh, is the
So that was his hand and his skull, his head poking out of the water. And so that kicks off.
I need to watch the Eternals then, because I think I skipped that one.
Yeah, and that kicks off to where they get adamantium from, and who has that?
Interesting.
Who has adamantium?
Oh.
That's where it comes
Wolverine,
from.
yeah.
So we're now leading into Wolverine starting. They're finally going to say they're thinking this movie was finally the bridge to get Wolverine into the regular Marvel universe. But I thought the timing was weird because it's like, aren't we already past the Wolverine? I mean, they're basically saying that's where they get the adamantium from, which then goes in him, which means this is way ahead of him still.
But I think there's been some adamantium around, just not very much. Like vibranium is very limited, only found in Wakanda, but there's still some adamantium deposits around the world, just like kryptonite for Superman. I don't know.
Somehow it finds it somewhere.
Yeah.
Somehow everything finds its way to Earth.
Yep. So yeah. I mean, I was entertained.
Yeah.
And I mean, I followed it all the way through, and we endured all the end credits to see what the end credits were.
And even the end was kind of like, what was that for?
Oh, you just wait for what's coming for you next. I'm like, man, we've already survived Thanos, as a world.
Right.
Like, what could be worse than Thanos?
And they just showed the Eternal God right there dead. So, who's coming? They got rid of the I was going to say quadriphedia. The Ant-Man Q guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's dead or banished. So it's like, well, who's left?
Yeah.
What arch villain? I mean,
Dr. Doom. They haven't really.
King in Black?
King in Black. I mean, but see, the thing is, King in Black is on the Sony side, right?
Yeah, true.
Where they got Venom and Spider-Man.
Right.
But Dr. Doom, we saw a preview for Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And Robert Downey Jr. is going to play Dr. Doom. He's going to play Iron Man and Dr. Doom.
Which I don't think that actually makes any sense.
Yeah.
He's so identified as Iron Man.
I know. I don't like it.
I mean, I guess...
you couldn't find one awesome actor out there to play. And
I mean, I guess if he never takes his mask off, he could be like the Pedro Pascal character.
Yeah.
And then
he's going to take his mask off.
So then you're going to think, he's going to take it off. Like, wait, it's Tony Stark.
He's a dude, disguised as one dude playing the other dude. So, I don't know.
That was a pick of man. I mean, he's a great actor.
Yeah.
But it's like, come on, pick a lane, man.
Yeah.
That would be like saying Christopher Reeve ends up playing, Zod in another movie.
Lex Luthor. Yeah.
I mean, it was like, come on.
Right. So, it was, I don't know.
I bet he went to him and said, hey, I want to do this.
They could have recast him as T'Challa. Right? Just like he was in Tropic Thunder.
I don't believe you people.
Huh. What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Huh?
I think what Tug
man.
means is you
No,
people,
look at
you
his eyes,
actors,
man.
you people.
Look at that beady white
You're talking to me.
I
gotta get back to the actors.
That's right.
But, all right, well, so overall... You were entertained, but...
That was 8.1. I was entertained. I just thought, it was just too cloudy. I mean, I guess they looked at this movie like this is the way we bridge all these other things in the future. So let's just throw it all in there and
Well, and you heard the
stir
president.
the pot.
I think it was the president says, we want you to rebuild the Avengers, right?
Right.
So I think this is like going to kick off the new phase of Marvel where they're going to build, and I'm sure they're going to do it faster, but they're going to rebuild, they're going to have like an Avengers 2.0. So,
And now instead of the Green Hulk, are they going to be just the Red Hulk now? Is that how? I don't know if that's is that what happens in the new Avengers? Because man, they made him very prominent in this movie. And
well, it'll be interesting to see. Like they'll probably have Spider-Man, but like, will they add like Namor to it? You know what I mean? Because they introduced Namor.
Right.
It wasn't very successful, but Namor was always an Avenger in the comics.
Yeah.
And they never included him in the Avengers. They brought him
in the
in a
Wakanda
Black
stuff.
Panther.
Right.
So
Which should have been the same thing. It should have
Right.
been either Namor or Black Panther. Somehow they
Right.
tried to put too much in one movie.
right.
It's like,
I don't know. We'll see. They might start adding in X-Men now into the Avengers. So you might see like
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 Magneto.
Wolverine, not Magneto, but like Wolverine. Maybe you see like Cyclops or something like that. Because
No.
I think he was in
They
the
break out of the X-Men.
yeah. There was some
They're
X-Men
doing
in
double
there.
duty.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe they bring in Silver Surfer.
Oh, yes, right.
So haven't really
Green Lantern.
explored.
Oh, he's
no,
DC.
Yeah, he's DC. Haven't explored Silver Surfer in the MCU. So
Why is that guy so popular? I don't understand. Anyways,
'Cause he's on a surfboard.
He's on a surfboard.
yeah. But
It's like Johnny Blaze. Flame on, and then he dies.
yeah, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. All right, well, Cult Lords fans, tell us what you think down in the comments. Did you like Captain America: Brave New World? Did our ratings match yours, exceed yours, or did you like it even more than us? So you let us know right after you hit subscribe and like. And Dane,
Yes.
why don't you? They didn't. I was wanting to see in this what cameos they were going to have, and the only one I think I saw was Bucky. Right?
Yeah, he
Did
just
they-
kind of walked in. Nobody else came in.
I don't. They didn't bring any other ones in.
And you're not going to count like the guy that the one that was playing the prisoner that was framed. I mean, he was in a previous movie,
Yeah.
but I don't remember what movie. He was in one of the last Falcon,
Yeah.
Captain America one, right? Where he
Yeah.
discovers he's a super soldier that was in prison.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I mean, this is almost
Yeah, and
like,
like they didn't make him Captain America because of the times, and like kind of the racial things. Isaiah Bradley, played
Yeah.
by Carl
Lumbly.
So
yeah. I mean, actually, he was one of the rare kind of like realistic characters in the
Yeah.
whole movie. Everyone else was a little bit,
but like I was hoping like, maybe they would have like Doctor Strange, or maybe Steve Rogers makes a small appearance to give them a pep talk, right? I mean, there were a million
characters
characters
that could have brought
in Deadpool versus Wolverine. There was a million cameos in that one, right? So it would have been nice to see. Like, I don't know.
I agree. I mean, they just kind of threw you a bone by having Bucky show up, and it's
Yeah.
like, where's everybody else?
Yeah,
It's in the
exactly.
captain. It didn't make any sense that they were so holding off on a lot of things.
Yeah. All right, Dane, how do you want to get us out of here?
Peace out, everybody.